Hello everybody, this is Zhou Zheng Show and Beautiful Life. Right now today, I invite a very special guest to come to our show, Zhou Zheng Show. She's a singer, dancer, and actress, and a supermodel. Okay, she is Dustin Quick. Hi,
Hello.
Dustin Quick. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have you heard of my show, Zhou Zheng Show and Beautiful Life?
Well, I'm excited to be here. I can't wait to learn more about it.
Okay, first, welcome to my show, and I want to use first to say hello to our audience.
Oh, yes. Ni hao ma. I'm Dustin. Pleasure to meet you. And thank you so much for having me on your show.
Okay, Dustin, quick. I met you in last the fashion show in Tashushu and Tadashu and Belta, the fashion.
Yes.
So you great, your performance is great. That's I heard of a lot of my colleagues from the photographer and all the newsman. They told me, oh wow, she's very great. She's
Thank you.
Performance very natural, make people comfortable. So when did you begin to start your
So I'm from Nebraska, and our slogan is "Go Big Red." They're very into football, and but also they have this great cultural kind of secret that's there. It's called the Omaha Community Playhouse, and Marlon Brando's mother started it, and the Fondas are a great acting family, are part of it as well. And so I was like 5 years old, and I saw
5 years old?
Yes, I saw a production of The King and I. And it's this production that takes place in the South Pacific, and it looked so beautiful. And I was like, I went up there, And so I asked my mom, how do the kids get up there? And she said, well, I think they go to an audition. So I went to this audition, and they all had sheet music or accompaniments or taped music, and I just didn't know that we were supposed to bring that. So I just sang something, some Walt Disney song. Off the top of my head, and they liked it. They cast me, so I was that was my first my break as a cast as an angel. And the funny thing is, I would go on to do quite a few more plays, and then as I moved out to California or New York, I was doing more TV and film. And the funny thing is, with modeling, a runway is really just a skinny stage. So I've kind of like almost gone back to my roots, because like you said, when you're there in a live situation, the audience is kind of part of that energy field.
Communication.
Yeah, and so I'm so glad they like that, because you feel the room, you can feel the presence, and that crowd, and you are no exception. In fact, you are very clear representation of that. It was such a fashionable crowd. I mean, half of the people that were in that crowd could have been on the runway. It was great.
Okay, so when you have this dream, when you were just 5 years old,
Yes.
and you dream to be
You know,
the star, or you
Yeah.
involved in a lot of the film, like when you were young, who is your idol?
I started off Marilyn Monroe. She's
Marilyn Monroe. Well,
yes,
yeah, she's very sexy.
Yes, yeah.
Very, yeah. I never met him.
No. Well,
Yeah.
and it's funny because she's a self-made girl, and she started off in modeling, and she's just one of those people that I watched her films, and I would have her picture all over my walls, and there's just something that is truly iconic about her, is that it's been how many years, probably a good 50 or 30 years that she's passed. We're still, she's probably one of the most recognizable faces. So I love her, and then I would move on to maybe Grace Kelly or some other great actresses of almost like that 1950s, that old Hollywood glamour era. I love that.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, my TV station HTTV was invited by the co-host to be the Marilyn Monroe in the Beverly Hills. Yeah, the big shoot.
Great.
The big shoot is auction about the Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, in the Beverly Hills. Yeah, a lot of the more than 1,000 the guests to involve that. So I involved that event to meet a lot of the people,
I bet that
fan
was
and
really
you know their family.
Mariah Carey, I think, ended up getting her white baby grand piano. So yeah, that was a great event.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the stuff. Our TV do the news, do the very radio documentary film about the Marilyn Monroe the events. Yeah. Okay, your idol is the Marilyn Monroe. She's really lot of the people, girls idol.
Right.
So she's a dancer, singer. Yeah. So you say you're a dancer. How you started your singing and dancing? Because I met you in the fashion show. Yeah, I know you're a supermodel. Your performers really giving them. I'm very impressed by your performance.
Thank you.
How you get training, singing or dancing or something?
That first play that I was cast in as an angel was for Christmas Carol, which is a musical. And so I just grew up, like they call it being baptized in fire. Like you sing, you act, and you dance. Like you have to be it's called triple threat. And I just assumed that that's what everybody did because it seemed like you have to, why not? Like these are the productions. And so I would then do some dance class on the side and whatnot. But that really became doing the productions became how I honed that craft. And then, when you're in high school, they have like cheerleading and dance team. So that kind of develops that to another level. And then I graduated from Pepperdine University in Malibu.
So what's your major to study?
Performing arts. So
Performer.
I think it may have been called fine arts, but I did. We did these great productions, like for 500-seat theaters for college. It was pretty great, and it was these big, beautiful costumes that were from the Broadway shows. So it was almost like you're getting like a little preview of modeling these beautiful pieces later on in the career.
So you're still learning the acting there, right?
Yes, I because I started in theater and I went to New York and I did some off-Broadway Shakespeare as well as sketch comedy. From there, I then came to Los Angeles and have done TV and film. There's a show NCIS. I spoke Albanian for. I had to learn my lines in a different language, which was a lot of fun. And for Rob Zombie, he's a musician turned director. I was in one of his movies called Lords of Salem, where it's about the almost kind of like the witches of Salem come back to haunt, to avenge for their injustice. And so that took place in Salem, Massachusetts, and that was very interesting to go and experience that. And so I kind of feel like it's the desire has always been there to be part of this exciting and interesting, glamorous world, but it does take different shapes and form, whether it be a stage, TV, film, or runway.
Okay, I met you in the fashion show. That was right now. I think most of the time you do the model.
Yes.
So you model just a fashion show model, or you still do a magazine or something,
both.
Any advertisement, and maybe my TV something invite you to be the model of or advertise something.
Sounds
okay.
good.
Today is a good opportunity to make you to the more clients to know.
I love it.
Okay.
You know what? I love modeling because it's like you're acting a role. Like I look at the clothing or whatever the item, maybe it's the jewelry, and I kind of feel like there's something that designer wants to communicate, that energy. And it was really fun for the show that we were at because I had 4 different looks for the first designer, and because of my dance background, I felt this long, beautiful blue dress. It had these kind of almost like wings, and I was like, you know what, let's get this girl to fly. And the crowd loved it because it's great to see art in motion. And then for the second show, I mean, so luxurious. It really was. I felt like chanting a little bit of that Marilyn, where you're just kind of dripping in this glamour, and it's a lot of fun. So I feel like you get to kind of bring a different character down the runway, and you almost have like a little mini play.
All your performers to communication with your audience, with the people. You enjoy it. You enjoy it though.
I love it. I love it. In fact, so I've done, when I do TV and film, and I love that as well. the interesting thing is that, so like there's this music video that I'm the only actor in, and it's for in Guns N' Roses, the famous guitarist Slash. He has the big curly hair and the top hat. So he has this song called You're Alive. You can go on YouTube. It has 4 million views, and we shot it at Universal Studios. And Universal Studios was known for their monsters. In fact, it was on the same stage in which they shot Phantom of the Opera, the original version. Like back, I think it was Lon Chaney. He was this, great actor of transforming. And within that music video, I start off very pretty, like when love is new and perfect, and then you get that first little ding in the car, and you see this transformation. They have special effects teams that Slash was so excited about you bringing in. They were fantastic. And then, but the funny thing was, we shot it out of sequence. So they started with like some of the uglier parts with all these, long attachments, nails, and just all sorts of, gross things. And then they're like, okay, now go do your beautiful shots. So we had to find a shower at Universal Studios, and I'm trying to scrape off all this glue so I can go to being pretty. But so the fun thing about doing that, I guess, in a live,
done,
right? If you do it live, there's a natural transition. But when you do it for TV or film, you don't get to really follow the story as you're shooting it the same way that you would experience it as an audience.
So that's why they say your passion is come from yourself, inside and outside, and you are integrated, outside and inside together.
Yeah.
Then show people you want it perfect. You want yourself perfect, right?
Yeah, it's
right?
My mother was she was a teacher, but she loves to travel, and she's actually been to China, and loved it, and I want to go, so she was very supportive of the arts and would take me to the play when I asked her to, and so I do feel like it is something probably inherited from her, both her natural passion for the arts, but yeah, I think there is something to be said for. I really like bringing artists together and representing their pieces and showing them off, and bringing their vision, their passion to light as well.
Okay, so I want to a little introduce or tell a story about your singing, your sound.
Oh, yes.
What's a video you act or you really did? Then tell my audience.
Yes, absolutely. So I met my husband about 4 years ago or so.
So you're married?
Yes, we just celebrated.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's funny, I left my ring at home, and sometimes I don't wear it, like when I go to fashion shows, because you don't want to take it off and then lose it. So sometimes you're working so much. I have it in a box, safe, but I forget. But we just celebrated 3 years, which is a long time for Hollywood artists, because he's a musician as well.
So your husband is a musician?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And it's really, when we met each other, while he knew I modeled and I did know that he played guitar, we just were wanting someone to love. We didn't realize that we were actually going to become creative partners. And it was such a natural, beautiful product of us kind of getting in sync. And it was a surprise too, because since I've been doing TV, film, and modeling, especially modeling, there is no voice. And he kind of without trying, he helped me refine my voice, literally and figuratively, because then I started writing lyrics to his songs, because he plays instrumental.
Oh, you sing
and
his
so
song?
I sing, yeah.
Okay.
And so it's just started. It was very organic, and so one day, I don't know what brought it on. Whether I was modeling I was wearing a beautiful dress from this Project Runway all-star designer, and we thought, let's go get some shots with him and his guitar, and we had this great friend who wanted to do that, and we thought, let's shoot some. She wanted to shoot some video, so we went there.
It's a pop music.
So
It's
it ended up being a
R&B. What's the
I would
music? Or
say
jazz?
it's kind of like a pop rock,
Pop
the
and
first
rock.
one. More, I say pop because it's called Shaken Not Stirred, and it's inspired by James Bond. So there is a popular culture reference inherent with the whole theme of the song, and it was a lot of fun. In fact we had we shot downtown, and police officers came, and because you're supposed to have a shooting permit Well, we didn't know at the time because this was just kind of impromptu. So we actually have the police cars in the video, and it works because it goes with the whole James Bond thing. And so then for our second, we had a big premiere for that. And one of my favorite designers who I model for and I just love, Sue Wong, she attended.
Shaken, not stirred.
I begin to like Mr. Bond.
Call me James.
For our second music video, it's called Heartbeat.
Heartbeat.
Yes, and it started off like my husband, Medi M, it's spelled Mediem, Medi M. He had this really infectious rhythm that when we would play at Sue's parties, it would get everybody up on their feet and dancing. It just something about it makes your hips shake. And so we then took all, my favorite designers and we shot in these beautiful, surroundings.
All the video right now is a music video published in the YouTube?
Yeah, both on
everything?
YouTube. Yeah.
Cool.
So if you look
So we can go to YouTube.
Yeah, go to Dustin Quick.
So everybody, you want to see that this is Zhou Zheng Show 5, our audience and fans. So if you want to see Dustin Quick, the music video show, you can go to the YouTube. What's the name?
So the first one is called Shaken, Not Stirred.
Okay.
And then the second one is called Heartbeat. So it's one band. And that one, we really, we shoot it partly, and there's these very, well, for us it's ancient in California, but about the 1500s, it's these missionaries. And so he's got his flamenco guitar, and I've got my dance moves, and it gets your pulse going.
That's why I told my audience you are actress also.
Yeah.
Could you tell me introduce some film, the important film act, or what part of the end of that?
Right.
Could you tell me?
Yes. So I would say for film, besides Lords of Salem, as far as other ones that really pop out, we also went to Cannes Film Festival for a short that I was in. It was called The Usual, and I've done a few shorts, and those are great because you really get a chance to showcase what you can do. And another one is called The Madness, Angel of Madness, which is kind of funny because my first role was be an angel. So that kind of went full circle as well. And also on television, there's a series, it's called Blood Relatives, and the episode called Mommy Dearest, I'm the title role. And it was a really interesting arc because it's based off a true story. And that was probably the richest character I've done because you really had to tap into this woman's, unfortunate natural infliction of schizophrenia. And so I would watch videos and read and what was like for someone going through that and how she suffered silently and how it affected her family, and ultimately herself, in terrible ways. So what I felt was really important about that is you're communicating information, even if it's like in an entertainment way, that will actually allow people to be like, oh, those are signs of this. Like maybe I'm suffering and I relate to that, or I know someone relates to that. So I feel like in a way that's how art helps people, because you experience someone else's journey, and it connects you and bridges a gap of, it gets us to know each other.
Okay. So right now you live in how long you live in the United States, California?
California, I've probably been here. I think I came out here in 2005. So it's been over a decade. So I feel like at home here. It's just so gorgeous. You can't it's really hard once you've lived.
You like Los Angeles?
Yes. You
love it?
Look at the way I dress. I don't do well in snow. No, where I'm from, it's a great place to grow up. There was something, I had a Malibu Barbie, and she just did me in. So I guess I was always Malibu bound, and that's where I would ultimately go to school and get married at, in fact.
You know what? Los Angeles is a really international city.
It is.
There's a lot of the 220 culture.
Yeah.
A lot of people come here, foreigner here. So what's the second language you speak?
So I speak a little español, un poquito. Es mejor con cerveza. Meaning it's better when I've had a beer.
Okay. So this is Spanish. Okay.
It is. Los Angeles is the most diverse, most diverse city in the entire world. And what I love about it is that you have like these almost different industries, these different towns, and we all come together. And you can go to different parts of LA and be like, oh, like this is like like where you go for like the best Chinese food, and it's authentic. It's not this watered down. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. And I meet you in the organizer is the Chinese. Like Suwon, I think it's just Chinese.
Yes.
Yeah, Suwon Show, and like the fashion show, even the Japanese Tashi show, Zhuangsidun, and Belta is
Yes.
the organizer is my designer is my
Yes,
friend,
she's
and
great.
also, have you heard of the China? Have you been China?
I haven't. I want to go. So
But your
badly.
mom is been to China, right?
Yes,
You told that.
I know.
So, what do you think of China? Right now, I heard that the China is very popular with
Yes.
fashion. I made
Wow.
the supermodel, even your TV station, the
Yes,
super from
right.
China. There are, so I wanted you give me some
I would
your
love to go.
feeling or comments about
You know,
China,
I would love
or their fashion show.
I would love to go and walk, Beijing Fashion Week. I hear it's great. And funny enough, I used to, before I was acting and modeling full time, I was, because of my love for film and storytelling and entertainment, I was working, when I came out here, I started working at Miramax Films. And then it became
All the big studios.
right.
Yeah.
And then it became Weinstein Company, and then Columbia Pictures at Sony. And when I was there, what was starting to really open up was the Chinese film market. So we did the Karate Kid remake, and that was with Will Smith's son, and it did really well. So all of a sudden there started to become like this, like let's engage with and bridge these two worlds and create some big beautiful movies. And so I feel like there it's kind of like U.S. and China are so excited about each other, they kind of want to go on dates. And so I want to go on that date. I want to go to Beijing. I want to see everything and meet people and.
So anyway,
experience it.
you want to be do the fashion show in the Beijing or
Yes.
China,
Yes.
or you want more Asian people know you?
Both. Do I have to choose? I would love to. I think it'd be
Because
great.
actors are actors.
Yes. You know what we could do is we could go there and model, but then also perform and see if they they like what we have to give.
before I let you go, I want to ask you a question. This my show is the Zhou Zheng Show Beautiful Life. What do you think you can make your life is more beautiful? What's your beautiful life?
So I'm very happy now, but I feel like between my husband and I, he has quite a few songs, and I've written and sang on them. We want to do more music videos because it is a great way for the world to be able, anywhere you are in the world, you can go to YouTube and see the video. So it's a way to communicate there. But we also want to make a short ourselves and then take that to Cannes as well, because I feel like there's an interesting story to tell, and we have it. It's basically about that there is a good fate for us if we, you have that belief that there is good in the world, and the world wants you to succeed. But even when you're going through a hard time, you hold on to that belief, and then the universe reveals itself and how it wants that for you as well. So that's a story that we'd like to tell. And if a family comes along, we'd welcome that. But right now we are creating our art, and for us that's our, like, each music video is a creative baby, so to speak. So we have a family of 4 and looking to be even a bigger family.
Okay, that's everybody. You're watching the Dustin the Quick, and she's the actress and the singer and dancer and the supermodel. Her beautiful life is working with her husband and make them more and more music, and use the music and moved everybody. Thank you for watching Zhou Zheng Show Live.